Hello, this is Mr. Morris. I'm making this video over Gimkit for those of you who are interested in using it in your classroom. I found out about Gimkit this summer. Gimkit was created by a high school student who wanted to add a layer of strategy to Kahoot-style online quiz games. I'm going to be showing you the Gimkit directions that I give my students prior to their first time playing Gimkit. However, before I begin that, let me tell you a couple of reasons why I like Gimkit better than Kahoot. First of all, Kahoot scores people on how fast they read the question, so that sometimes your slow readers don't score as well, which can be very frustrating for them. At Gimkit, the students can work at their own pace and read the questions as slowly as they would like to, and as long as they get the question right, they'll score the same as someone who reads faster than they do. Second, what's great about Gimkit is that the teacher in Kahoot has to move the question one at a time, but with Gimkit, students can answer the questions at their own pace. So some students may get through 40 questions in a 15-minute session, where other kids may only get through 20, but you as the teacher don't have to prompt the questions, so you can kind of move around the room and see how the progress is going along. Third, with Gimkit, one of the things I like about it is that the questions will repeat, and so students can get that repetition, and if they get a question wrong, Gimkit will show them the correct answer if they would like to see it. And so when they get that question again later on, they can hopefully get that question right the second time, which helps promote the growth mindset we've been talking about. And fourth, and this is the most important reason why I decided to get Gimkit this summer, is Gimkit gives the students some strategy. So it's not just about knowing the question, the correct answer, but it's also about using some strategy and thinking about how they want to develop their character in the game so they can get more points, and in Gimkit they call it money. This time I'm going to go through the steps that I tell the students. So step one, you would go to gimkit.com/play. That's the site that the students would go to join your game. You actually would make the game at gimkit.com without the /play. And then step two for the students, they would enter the game code. There's a game number code just like for Kahoot that would be on the screen, and the students would enter that code. And then for step three, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either have the students put in their own name, but keep in mind when you do that, sometimes they put in silly names, or you can actually develop your own class ahead of time. And so they would use the drop down on the choose the name. They would click this and their name would be in there, and they would click that for go. And then another nice thing about Gimkit is because we have students that sometimes get bored while they're waiting for others to join. While they are waiting for the other students to join, their screen becomes an etch-a-sketch, if you will. They can use their cursor and draw lines on the screen. And while that may seem silly for you, it's amazing how much the students thought that was fun. Once everyone's joined, basically Gimkit is multiple choice. Now you can make it other things, but the most common way to do it would be multiple choice. So a question will come on the screen like, what is Mr. Mo's favorite dessert? And then they would click on one of the four choices that they think that the correct answer is. And then this is where Gimkit separates itself from Kahoot. Every question in Gimkit is worth money instead of points, and every question you either gain money by getting it right or you lose money by getting it wrong. And so that's a big difference between that and Kahoot. So if they get the question right, it's going to show that they gained $1. If they get the question wrong, they're going to lose $1. And you can set the amount of money at the very start prior to the game starting. So you can give them some seed money so they can have some money to invest, or you can start them at zero. It's completely up to you. You can even set the level of how much negative they can go. And then once they've answered the first question, they have a couple of choices. They can continue to the next question, or they can go to the shop. And of course, that shop is what makes Gimkit much different than Kahoot. So let's say they go to the shop. At the shop, they can purchase 4 different types of upgrades for their character. They can buy the money per question, the streak bonus, the multiplier, or the insurance. Now these upgrades and levels cost money, so that takes the money from their account, and so they have to be strategic as far as what type of upgrades they think are worth the money, and also they probably don't want to upgrade when there's only like 30 seconds or 40 seconds left in the game, because at that point they may not be able to recoup their money. So just quickly going over the 4 different types of upgrades. The money per question upgrade makes each question worth more money per question. So you can get it so that the questions cost, like at level 2, you get $10 per question right, but then you lose money, that same $10, if you get the question wrong. So that's for students that want to up the ante as far as how much the questions are worth. The streak bonus, I encourage kids to do the streak bonus early because what that does is it only gives them a bonus if they get questions right in a row. And so unlike the money per question where they can actually lose more money if they miss questions, at least the streak bonus allows them to just make more money if they get several questions in a row. The multiplier actually adds a bonus to both the money per question and the streak bonus. And so if they want to go that route, they certainly can. And then the insurance power up is for those students who are afraid they might not know as many questions. And so what that does is if they miss a question, they don't lose as much money if they have the insurance. A couple other things that are cool about Gimkit is that you as the teacher can set the game's end to either a specific amount of time. So if you know you're limited by time, you can just set the time limit to say 15 minutes is what I've done. Or you can set it at a certain dollar amount, and that can be by, okay, whoever gets to $20,000 first is the winner. And keep in mind, that kind of leaves the power as how long that game could take out of your hands. Or you can say, as soon as the class has made a total dollar amount, the game ends. So in a way, the kids could feel like they were playing as a class and yet also be competing. If you have any questions about Gimkit, feel free to ask me at any time. I'd be more than happy to help you get through Gimkit. I think a majority of my students have really enjoyed it. Not everybody, but I think a lot of them have said that they really think it's a blast. Thanks a lot.